Why ghosting happens and how to handle it. Ghosting is when someone cuts off all communication without any warning or explanation. This behavior is increasingly common in romantic relationships, friendships, and even professional settings. Being ghosted can be a painful and confusing experience because it leaves you with unanswered questions and no sense of closure. To better understand how to cope with it, it's essential to explore the reasons why ghosting happens and how to handle it when it does. One of the main reasons people ghost is to avoid confrontation. Communicating disappointment or ending a relationship can be uncomfortable, and not everyone has the emotional tools to handle those conversations. Instead of addressing the situation, some choose to walk away in silence, believing it's easier for both parties. Others may ghost because they've lost interest or feel the connection has fizzled out, but they don't want to hurt the other person's feelings, or they simply don't know how to say it. Sometimes, ghosting is driven by emotional overwhelm. Life can become chaotic, and when people are stressed or struggling with mental health issues, maintaining communication may feel like an added burden. In some cases, ghosting is a form of self-protection, especially if someone feels unsafe, disrespected, or emotionally drained by the relationship. Lastly, ghosting can also happen unintentionally. A person may forget to respond, thinking they'll get back to you later, only for days or weeks to slip by. By the time they remember, they may feel it's too late to reconnect without it being awkward. If you've been ghosted, the first step in handling it is to recognize that it's usually not about you. It's easy to internalize rejection and question your worth, but ghosting often reflects the ghost's inability to communicate effectively. Give yourself space to process your feelings and resist the urge to chase explanations. One follow-up message is acceptable to check in, but if there's no response, it's best to accept the silence and move forward. Waiting for someone to come back or trying to interpret their reasons will only keep you stuck in an emotional loop. Closure is something you can create for yourself. Write down your feelings, talk to a trusted friend, or engage in an activity that helps you release the hurt. Remind yourself of your strengths and the healthy relationships you have in your life. Don't allow the ghosting experience to diminish your self-esteem. While it's natural to replay conversations and search for signs of what went wrong, be kind to yourself and avoid getting stuck in overanalyzing the situation. To reduce the chances of being ghosted again, pay attention to patterns. If you find yourself repeatedly involved with emotionally unavailable people, it might be time to reevaluate the type of connections you seek. On the flip side, if you've ever ghosted someone, reflect on how it might have affected them. Communicating openly and honestly, even if it's uncomfortable, builds stronger, more respectful relationships. Ultimately, ghosting is hurtful, but it's also a learning experience. It teaches you to set boundaries, prioritize healthy communication, and find closure from within.